What's up guys, I'm Sean. Today's video I'm going to show you how to change the PCV valve on your N54 335 BMW. Go to my spark plug video and you'll see how to remove the engine cowl and cover to get to this point. So basically the PCV valve is in here and this is what we have to remove. This cap to get to the factory valve to replace it with this. So to get to the PCV valve, we have to remove the cover. You can use a 13mm wrench, but a half inch wrench works better. So now that the PCV valve is loose, we're going to try to remove it without removing the fuel line. But to do that, we need to pull off this. So to remove this, I just wiggled it out while I squeeze the corners of this. So you don't need any special tool. You just squeeze each of these corners, kind of a cross pattern, and then wiggle it out. Just pull this out of the way. There's a little bit of oil in there. And now the PCV valve cover should be able to come out this side. Here's the cover. This cover comes off. So what I just did is I inserted a drill bit into the hole of the PCV valve just to give it some rigidity. And then I'm going to use needle nose pliers to squeeze the valve and pull it out. And now it's loose. So here's the factory PCV valve. So here is the Oem Pcv Valve. Even though there's threads on it, you can just pull it out. The threading is probably leftover BMW part. And here's the rod beck valve. And the N54 engines are notorious for having a leaking or bad PCV valve. My car has 36,000 miles and there's a little bit of oil on cylinder 5 of my spark plug, so I figure this is a good preventative maintenance. And these valves are cheap. Rod beck PCV valve, only about $45 shipped. So what we do is we're basically going to insert it back into the hole, and this cover screws on. But what I'll do is put this into the OEM cover. Oem cover like this. You don't have to reuse that gasket there. It just goes like this. Use the factory housing. Just insert this in and screw it in. To get the upgraded valve back in place, I do have to remove one of the fuel lines. I've tried it installed like this and also separately installing the valve first before the cover, and it still doesn't fit. So we're going to remove the lines. To remove the line, 14mm wrench, and have make sure the engine is cool so there's less pressure, and have some napkins there to absorb the fuel when it comes out. With the valve, you can simply screw it into place. So these get tightened to about 4 foot-pounds, which is basically nothing. It's a little snug because of the gasket, but once you tighten it by hand first to get the threads going, then you can use a tool. Mine's pretty flush already. Just reinstall the fuel line. Hand tighten it first to make sure the threads go down. And these get torqued to 17 foot-pounds, which isn't much either. I don't have a torque wrench that will actually get that angle, so I'm just gonna Just gonna hand tighten it snug. With the fuel lines back on, we just slide on the check valve hose. So the PCV valve is pretty much done. Just gotta put everything back together.